Happy New Year! Welcome to 2021. That feels good to say. It really does. This is our show. It's called Good Morning Football. It's brought to you by Intuit QuickBooks. I am back just in time to kick off what should be the best year of our lives, right here on GMFB. My name is Kay Adams, and Happy New Year to my work brothers, Kyle Brandt, Nate Burleson, and Peter Schrager. Hey, guys.
Merry New Year! Let's do it.
Oh, Nate's rare form. Love it. At GMFB with your tweets, your questions. We've got your playoff breakdown coming up, but let's go to Ian Rappaport at Rapsheet on Twitter. He's, of course, our NFL Network insider. Ian, Happy New Year to you. Dolphins going to Buffalo, a massive must-win situation on Sunday. We got some really bad news yesterday on Ryan Fitzpatrick. What's the latest? And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Kay. And for Ryan Fitzpatrick, obviously a difficult situation right now. He was not at practice yesterday for the Miami Dolphins as they prepared for, as you mentioned, a huge game on Sunday. The reason why, sources said, is that he tested positive for COVID-19. He was later placed on the COVID-19 reserve list, which means he is out for Sunday's game. Not only Sunday's game, depending on the timing of the playoff game, if the Dolphins do, in fact, end up making the playoffs, he could potentially be out for that game as well. Would depend on whether or not the game is the next Saturday or the next Sunday. Obviously, if the Dolphins do make the playoffs, plenty of time to get to that. But he's not a starting quarterback, obviously. And for most teams, almost all teams, this would be a non-issue. But we have seen Fitzmagic come in out of the bullpen, a fresh arm, saved the day for the Dolphins a couple times this year. Brian Flores is committed to Tua. He is their starter. But when they've needed to, just like they did against the Raiders, they've been able to bring Fitz off the bench to come in and give the offense a spark. That is not available Sunday, so it is going to be all Tua for the Dolphins.
Miami, of course, clinches a playoff berth with a win up against the Buffalo Bills. Thank you so much, Ian. Good to see you. Let's take a look at this playoff picture and break it down. Yes, Miami can win if they beat the Bills. They also can get in to the playoffs if there's a loss by either the Ravens, the Browns, or the Colts. So a couple of ways into the dance party. So, Shregs, what does the Fitzpatrick news mean for the Dolphins and really just the AFC in general heading into a pivotal ins and outs Week 17?
Yeah, welcome back, Kay. And Ian made a incredible point there that any other team you might say, okay, well, the veteran backup quarterback's not there. It's not ideal, but here we go. But we are 6 days removed from Ryan Fitzpatrick saving the Dolphins season in miraculous form out there in Las Vegas in a Saturday night game like we've never seen before. And the decision was, we're going to start Tua. All right. Going to start Tua, but I think everyone, whether it be a Dolphins fan or us on this show, everyone was like, they're going to start Tua, but this guy's available if you need him to clean up any messes that Tua leaves on aisle number 3. Here's what this is. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick not only not available to go in the game, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick not available on the sidelines. He can't be there. He can't be a close contact to Tua. So he's not with him today. He's not with him tomorrow. And on Sunday, where Tua might need to use that veteran presence and say, hey, I need help on this, or I need that, or even the security blanket of knowing if I can't throw the deep ball and I can't beat that Buffalo defense, Fitzy might be there to save my butt. He's not going to be there. So this is the equivalent to me of being up there in the plane. You never skydived before, and the instructor says, all right, it's your turn. There's no looking back. Tua, you're going out there, and the parachute's there. That's your own abilities. But the captain flying with you, he ain't. So this, to me, is all about Tua. We were wondering if he would ever have to have that big win. I think the Arizona win was that win. This is the biggest game the Dolphins have had in 5 years. And Tua Tagovailoa, all eyes are on him.
Hey, Tua, LFG, baby. 2021, new year, new Tua. Peter, Fitz isn't going to be there on the sideline to talk over what the defense is doing. Good. It's time to grow up. Time to take Tua out of the baby Bjorn and let him push the stroller, as he should, as a top 5 pick at the end of the season. He's not a rookie anymore. You get out there, you miss a deep ball, you throw an interception, get right back out there. It's your job. Uncle Fitz isn't coming. Daddy isn't coming. I actually had to check, guys. I had to check, all right, who's the Dolphins' third string guy? Do they have some sort of Drew Stanton type I don't know about who Flores is going to put in if Tua struggles? No, it's Jake Rudock. He ain't playing. I also find myself saying, you know what? Tua's been in bigger games than this before. Tua's been on bigger stages than this before. No, he hasn't. No, never mind the college thing. It's the amateur level, and I got to tell you, I think Alabama would have been just fine if Tua had never showed up. National titles before he got there. There'll be a million national titles after he got there. This is the Dolphins. The Dolphins haven't done squat since the 70s. I'm telling you, getting the Dolphins to the playoffs would be a bigger deal than getting another national championship for Nick Saban. How do I know? Even Nick Saban couldn't do it. He was the head coach, and he couldn't. Tua, you could actually do something that Coach Saban could not do. That's how big this is, and there's no supervisor, no chaperone, no bearded Harvard man to take you through it and hold your hand. Go do it yourself. You're a grown-ass man. LFG, Tua.
Yeah, we are all on the same page. I hear you guys. So last night, you can't really celebrate New Year's. You know, given the current circumstances, you can't really go out and hang out like we typically would do. So for me, it was just hanging out with the family. And as we go around the table and toast, it was, you know what, 2020 was something else. Let's bring in the new year right. You know, my wife, she says the same thing. You know, 2021, it's going to be different. You know, my son, little Nate, Nehemiah, all the way down to my daughter, Mia, who's 10 years old, says, you know what, 2020 was a rough year. But if we do it right, 2020 can be so much better. The reason I bring this up is because this is an opportunity for Tua to change the narrative for 2021. Like, 2020 has been a good year for Tua, right? It started off with us hyping him up and him bouncing back from that injury. And he had some moments this year where we're like, you know what, the Miami Dolphins, they're in good hands with this young quarterback. But then there were moments where he was benched, he was sitting on the sideline, watching Ryan Fitzpatrick save the day. So what do you do in this opportunity? This is a chance for you, Tua Tagovailoa, to change the narrative moving into the new year. Tua, this is your life, baby. So how about you start this year off and do it the right way? That way, for 2021, moving into the playoffs, into the offseason, into next year, we can start the narrative by saying, you know what? Without a doubt, Tua Tagovailoa is the man for the job. And this is a great opportunity to do that up against